Hello my dear students, welcome back to your physics class. This is your physics teacher. I hope you all are well. We are on chapter 2 physical quantities and measurement, and we will continue this chapter, and we have done up to measurement of temperature. Now in this video you will learn about area and its measurement. So firstly let us have a look at the definition of area, or what is area. So area can be defined as the amount of space covered by an object, or we can say that the amount of two-dimensional space covered by an object, or we can say that the surface occupied by a plane figure is called the area of that figure. Surface occupied by a plane figure or two-dimensional figure is called the area of that figure. Now, area is a derived physical quantity. We know that there are two types of physical quantities: fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. The quantities like mass, length, time, temperature, etc., all these are fundamental physical quantities, while the quantities like area, volume, velocity, density, all these are derived physical quantities. Now, why area is a derived physical quantity? Because its unit is determined by the factors on which it depends. For example, if we write the area of rectangle, then the area of rectangle can be written as length multiplied by its breadth. And the SI unit of area can be written by writing the SI unit of length and the SI unit of breadth. So that will be equal to meter multiplied by meter. That will be equal to meter square or m square. So as area is a derived physical quantity, the SI unit of area is meter square, or symbolically it can be written as m square. Now for measuring area of different sized objects, there are different units used. For example, if we want to measure the area of a city or a country, then we use a bigger unit, that is kilometer square, which is written as km square in the symbolic form. And if we want to measure the area of farms or fields, then we use the hectares. This is also a larger unit. And to measure the area of smaller objects like that of an eraser or other small objects, we use millimeter square, centimeter square and decimeter square. These are the smaller units of area. Next is relationship between different units of area. We know that these are the different units of area. So here we will see the relationship between these units. First one is millimeter square. 1 millimeter square can be written equal to 1 millimeter multiplied by 1 millimeter. We know that 1 millimeter is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So it will be equal to 10 to the power minus 3 meter multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Base are same, powers will add, that will be equal to 10 to the power minus 6 meter multiplied by meter, that is equal to meter square. Next one is 1 centimeter square. 1 centimeter square can be written equal to 1 centimeter multiplied by 1 centimeter. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So this can be written equal to 10 millimeter multiplied by 10 millimeter, that will be equal to 10 to the power 2 millimeter square. Or we can write it in terms of 1 centimeter square can be written in terms of meter square. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 to the power minus 2 meter, that will be equal to 10 to the power minus 2 meter multiplied by, from here we can write multiplied by 10 to the power minus 2 meter, that will be equal to 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Next one is 1 meter square, that is can be written as 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter, or in terms of centimeters it can be written 100 centimeter multiplied by 100 centimeter, that is equal to 10 to the power 4 centimeter square. Next one is 1 hectare. 1 hectare is equal to 100 meters multiplied by 100 meters, that will be equal to 10 to the power 4 meter square. And 1 kilometer square can be written equal to 1 kilometer multiplied by 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So this is also equal to 1000 meter, that will be equal to 10 to the power 6 meters square. So this is the relationship between different units of area. Next is measurement of area of regular and irregular shaped objects or surfaces. First one is area of regular surfaces or regular objects. We can measure the area of regular surfaces or regular shapes like sphere, rectangle, circle by different formulas. We can use different formulas to calculate their areas. For example, area of square can be written as side multiplied by side. For area of rectangle, there is a formula of length multiplied by breadth. Similarly, area of circle can be written equal to pi r square, where pi is a constant whose value is either 3.14 or it is 22 by 7. Then the area of sphere is equal to 4 pi r square. So we can find out the area of these regular shaped objects by using the different formulas. But if we want to find out the area of an irregular shaped object like a stone, a leaf, then we have to use some another method. So there are some methods, and the one of the methods used for finding the area of irregular shaped objects is graph sheet method. So in this method we will use a graph paper. A graph paper is required. So what is a graph paper? I think you all are familiar with the graph paper. A graph paper is a paper which is printed with the network or number of small squares of identical size. Means there is a intersection of rows and columns on this graph paper, and it is used for plotting graphs and mathematical diagrams. So the structure is like this. This is a small pattern of graph paper drawn over here, and you can see here there are small squares, and this is a big square. Now each side of this bigger square is of 1 centimeter. That means this and this side each is of 1 centimeter, and each side of these smaller squares is equal to 1 millimeter. So from this we can find out the area of this bigger square and these smaller squares. So the area of bigger square can be written as side multiplied by side, that will be equal to 1 centimeter, multiplied by 1 centimeter, that will be equal to 1 centimeter square. Similarly, the area of these smaller squares will be equal to 1 millimeter multiplied by 1 millimeter, that will be equal to 1 millimeter square. So in this way we can find out the area of each of these squares. Now this is an example of centimeter graph paper. We can also use other graph papers in which the size of the squares is even larger than these squares, and this method gives an estimation of the area of irregular objects. Means this method is an estimated method for calculating the area of an irregular object. But we can improve the estimation by taking the size of squares as much smaller as possible. If we take the smaller square graph paper, then it will give us better estimation of the area of irregular objects. But if we use the bigger ones, then in that case the estimation will be quite low. But in this method, in this case, if we take the very small squares, then counting will be difficult. So we can use the graph paper according to our requirement and convenience. Now let us study the method for finding the area of regular as well as irregular shaped objects, because this method can also be used for finding the area of a regular shaped object along with the irregular shaped object. So first is the finding the area of regular plane object. So we can take any plane object like a rectangle or a square. Firstly, what we have to do, place the plane object, that can be a rectangle or a square, on the centimeter graph paper and draw its outline with the help of pen or pencil. Then remove the object, and on removing the object we will find that its boundary means outline, will enclose a number of square boxes on the graph paper. Some will be complete and some will be incomplete. Now we will count the number of complete squares which are enclosed within the outline. the number of complete squares are denoted by small a. Then the number of squares which are occupying more than half of a square. Means firstly we have counted the number of complete squares. Now we will count the squares which are more than half filled. Not half filled but more than half filled, and we will consider that number of squares as B. Let the number of more than half filled squares will be B. And then we will count the number of squares which are exactly half filled. So let us denote that half squares as C. And we will ignore the squares that are covered less than half. Means which are less than half, we will neglect that squares. So we will do two examples. So here is the first example, that is very simple. So firstly we can write down the area of that figure as area of complete square will be equal to number of squares multiplied by the area of that squares. Now number of squares, it is A, means this is representing the number. So the number of complete squares is A, and area of each square we have calculated, that is 1 centimeter square, so it will be equal to A centimeter square. Similarly, the area of more than half filled square, that will be the number of more than half filled squares multiplied by the area of each square. So the number of more than half filled squares is, that is B. So it will be equal to B centimeter square. Similarly, the area of half filled squares, that will be equal to the number of half filled squares multiplied by the half of the area of each squares, because here these are half filled, that will be equal to half centimeter square, C by 2 centimeter square. So the area of the plane object will be equal to area of complete squares plus area of more than half filled squares plus area of half filled squares. So that will be equal to the total area of the plane object. So here this is the graph paper on which we have traced the rectangle or any object that you want to draw over here, or whose area you want to find. So if we count the number of complete squares here, that will be equal to 30. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 multiplied by 5, that will be equal to 30. The number of half squares that are marked by ticks, that is equal to 5, you can see here. And now if we calculate the area, that will be equal to 30 multiplied by 1 centimeter square, that is equal to 30 centimeter square. Similarly, area of half squares will be equal to 5 multiplied by 1 by 2 centimeter square, that will be equal to 2.5 centimeter square. Now here there are no more than half filled squares and the less than half filled square, so we haven't written here. So the area of the given rectangle will be equal to area of complete squares plus area of half squares, that will be equal to 30 plus 2.5, that is equal to 32.5 centimeter square. And we can also verify the result by calculating the area using the formula area of rectangle that is equal to length multiplied by breadth in case of a regular shaped object. Now here we will see the example for finding the area of an irregular shaped object. Now this is an example for finding the area of an irregular shaped object. Here this is a leaf. So firstly we will place a leaf over the graph paper. Now let us consider this is a graph paper having square of area 1 centimeter square. Each square is having the area of 1 centimeter square. Then after that we will draw the boundary or outline of the leaf with the help of the pencil or pen. After that we will remove the leaf and we will find out that the boundary of the leaf will enclose a number of squares. Some will be complete and some will be incomplete. So firstly we will find out the number of complete squares, then we will count the number of more than half filled squares, then number of half squares, and the squares which are less than half filled, that we will ignore or neglect. And one more thing that is important, that the number of more than half filled squares will be counted as the number of complete squares, because these are more than half filled, so this will also be counted as complete squares. So let's start counting. Here the number of complete squares I have marked with dot, so you can see that this is a complete square, this is also a complete square. So how many number of complete squares are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, then 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 and 39. It means there are 39 complete squares. So the number of complete squares is equal to 39. Then we will count the number of more than half-filled squares that will also be counted as complete squares, but one time we will count them as separately. So the more than half-filled, so this will be the more than half-filled, so that I have marked with tick. Now let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it means there are 21 more than half-filled squares. So here we will write 21. Then we will count down the number of exactly half squares, means which are half filled. So this seems to be half filled, this one also and this one also. So there are 3 half filled. So here we will find out the area of each of these complete squares, more than half filled squares and half squares. So the area of complete squares, that will be equal to the number of complete squares multiplied by area of each square, that is equal to 1 centimeter square. So that will be equal to 1 centimeter square, it will be equal to 39 centimeter square. Similarly, area of more than half filled squares, that will be equal to number of more than half filled squares multiplied by area of full square, that is also 1 centimeter square, means same we will count. So it will be equal to 21 centimeter square, and the area of half squares, that will be 3 multiplied by half of area, because these are half filled squares. So these are 3 by 2 centimeter square, and that will be equal to 1.5 centimeter square. So the total area, or the area of the given object, that means the leaf, will be 39 centimeter square plus 21 centimeter square, that plus 1.5 centimeter square. So that will be equal to, with centimeter square, that will be equal to 39 plus 21, 60, 60 plus 1.5, that will be equal to 61.5 centimeter square. So this will be the area of this leaf.